Good evening and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Tonight's daf is Nazir daf Yutet number 19. I want to discuss the top of Yutet of an Aleph, where the beginning of tonight's daf, where in the fourth line the Gemara says Brisa. Tana Rabbana Isha Shenadra Nazir Benitma. She took a Naziris and she became Tameh within 24 hours. Again, the husband only has 24 hours to make for the nether, which is a Naziris. A Naziris is a type of a nether. And the husband heard about it. He's made for the Naziris. However, before he was made for it, she already become Tameh. She become Tameh with corpse tumah. The Brisa says a strange halacha. She brings a korban chatas. Right after you become Tameh, you have to observe 7 days of Tara. Right, and at the 8th day, you bring 3 korbanos: korban asham, chatas, and a chatas off and olas off. However, in this case, for some strange reason, she only brings one of the 3 korbanos, the chatas off, not the asham and not the olas off. The Gemara discusses why she brings only one. So the Gemara says, "Ma'ika savar." What is a brayso? Lika savar bal me'akar akar. If you hold that the way Hafaras and Daram works, that he uproots the nether, I'm just translating loosely the words. Oker is to uproot something, uproots the nether. Sounds like Hafaras and Daram each uproots the entire nether. Right? When she took the Naziris, there was retroactively, there's no Naziris anymore. So when she became Tameh afterwards, there was no Naziris that she was violating. She didn't have to bring any karbonos. Ikasavar Baal Megas Gaias. If you hold the Baal Megas Gaias, ostensibly the Gemara means to say that he cuts off the nether now, right? As opposed to uprooting it retroactively, he cuts it off now. So therefore, now he's Mayfair. He blocks the nether. The way I explained it in Masechet Nedarim, Hafara is blocking, Hatara is uprooting. So he blocks the nether. So he only blocked it now. She'd have to all herself namilais. He should have to bring all the karbonos, Hatazov also, and presumably Karban Asham also. The Gemara didn't discuss the Karban Asham. So the Gemara says, "Olam Kasar Bal Makar Akar Ishmael Savar Lakar Leshakap." But the Gemara says, really, it is the correct understanding of Hafaras Nadarim, or in this case, Hafaras Nazirus, is Oker, is retroactively uprooting it. She didn't have to bring anything. The reason the Chatas Off is because this Brisa holds Kapar that just by taking Naziris upon yourself is already a sin. Right? So she took Naziris on herself. He uprooted it because she made a declaration of Naziris. That's a sin already. And she has to bring a Chatas Off, right? Just like if she completed her Naziris and didn't become Tameh, they bring a Korban Chatas. Here also, bring a Korban Chatas. Now, first of all, the Lashon over here in the Gemara is different because the Gemara talked about the nature of Hafaras Nadarim. The Gemara had a famous Chakir investigation, analytic debate. What is the nature of Hafaras Nadarim? Is it, the Gemara called it Megas Guy, it was one side. The other side was called Miklish Kalish. Different Lashon the Gemara. It didn't say Me'akar Akar, it says Miklish Kalish. Klisha means to make it weak. Megas Guy means to block it or to cut it away. And the Gemara really, when it referenced this, was talking about a case of Nara Murasa, where a woman, her Hafaras Nadarim is empowered by 2 people. 2 people have the power to jointly be made for an Nadarim, her father and her Oris. She's engaged, right? The man she's engaged to. So they have to do it jointly. And that was the whole parak Nara Murasa talked about. The Gemara says, what does Hafaras Nadarim work? If you say, and is it work through Megas Gayish or Miklish Kalish? What's an Afkamina? Nafkamina is if she took a neder not to eat 2 olives, right? So if you say that the way it works is Megas Gaias, right? So they do it jointly. So therefore, the husband is in charge of one kazayas, and the father is in charge of the other kazayas, not the husband, the future, the soon-to-be husband. So when one of them is made for part of the Naziris, and then she eats the other olive, she gets malchus because only half of the Naziris neder is gone. The other half is still usher, and you get malchus for eating the kazayas. According to the side of Miklish Kalish, no, even if the father or the soon-to-be husband himself is made for part of the nether, he weakens the entire nether. It's not that he's responsible for half of it. He weakens the entire nether. But according to nobody, there was no side in the Gemara, Ma'akar, say uprooting it. And I explained over there, the difference is, Hafaras Nadarim doesn't work to be matir or nether. Matir nether is usually through a Pesach, where you say, if I would have known something, I wouldn't have taken the nether. So it's like a nether betos. I never took that nether. Nether never existed, and maybe according to Charata, even Charata works like that. Also, that Chazal assessed that now you regret it, so therefore they are empowered to uproot the nether, because that's a base din. Here it's just a father or a husband; they could not even become a chachamim. First, I explained it's a mere convenience that they gave that a woman shouldn't have to go, a daughter or a wife shouldn't have to go in front of a base din, a matter, and nether. If he heard it within 24 hours, he can block the neder, but it's not undoing the neder. He's just blocking it temporarily. So what is the Gemara saying over here, ma'akar akar? And based on what we're saying over here, ma'akar akar, really, right, the nafkamina is that she shouldn't have to bring any karbanos because the neder is uprooted retroactively. So how does it fit with my explanation that it's blocking? So I still maintain that Havaran Zarm is blocking the nether. The Gemara, when it says ma'akar akar, is really in place of the words miklish kalish. So we have to transpose those words over here also. Miklish kalish or ma'akar akar, whatever the Gemara means, because I think it's referencing the same investigation and analytic debate that it had in Masechus Nedarim. It just means it's Hafara weakening, Miklish kalish, to weaken her words, right? Is it weakening the words? Is it blocking her words, or is it blocking the chalos? Is it blocking the amira, her saying of the neder, or the naziris in this case, or is it blocking the chalos, right? So if you say miklish kalish, it doesn't mean that it uproots the neder. It means that you weakened her words. Her words, I makabel naziris, and the husband or the father is made for the neder, the naziris. He weakens her words, and it doesn't allow the naziris to take effect. It's a weak. It's like a shota taking a naziris or something like that. You know, it's words, but it's weakened. So that's the way you're blocking it. It's not uprooting it. There's and therefore, for example, if you have an aramurasa, so you have two people in play, the father and the arus. So if you say miklish kalish, so she took a neder not to eat 2 olives. So both olives are still usher, right? Even if one of them is made for the neder. Both of them are made for the neder, none of them are usher. But if one person is made for the neder, it's miklish kalish, he weakens it, he weakens her amira. So you don't get malchus over there, but it's just a weakening of her amira. And her amira included 2 kizesim. You can't break apart her amira. Amira included 2 kizesim. So you can't say one for him and one for him. The amira said, I'm not going to eat 2 kizesim. However, if you say it's in the chalos, right, that's the side of megas gaius, meaning the way he blocks, he doesn't block the words, he doesn't weaken her words, he blocks the chalos. So here, when she took a naziris, he blocks the naziris from going on her, right, or the status of her nazira. He blocks it right now. He's blocking the status of naziris. So Megas guys in this case, in our case in this Gemara, he blocked the status, and the status still exists until he blocks it. So she became tamea before the status is blocked. So she's responsible to bring a chatas off and olas off. However, if you hold ma'akar akar miklish kalish, it means that he blocked it at the Rishas Amira when she took the words, when she said Harini Nazira. So he blocked it Harini Nazira, so therefore it never had a chance for Nazira to be chal at the time of her Amira. And therefore she's not responsible to bring a chatas off or an olas off, which is the conclusion of our Gemara. And that's what the Gemara means in Masechus Nedarim. The Gemara says, Megas guys, if you hold miklish kalish, right? So either the arus or the father, he weakens the amira. You weaken it together. She can't get malchus for either because I said Megas guys means that he blocks it, right? He blocks the status. So once you took the amira is effective. It's 2 kizesim. So he's responsible for half of it. So he completely blocks half of the chalos. But the chalos was already on 2 kizesim, 2 olives that she had in front of her. So he blocks half of it. So if she eats the other one, she gets malchus if that wasn't mufar. So that's the explanation over here. Ma'akar akar is used interchangeably with miklish kalish. How we paskin miklish kalish, right? Not megas gaias. And so therefore, I don't believe the Gemara is refuting what I said over there. It just means ma'akar akar means it uproots it retroactively. It doesn't uproot it retroactively. It weakens it retroactively, not retroactively. B'shas amira, it weakens the amira. The amira is still in place. It's just a weaker amira. And therefore, the Naziris is not strong enough to make her chaya for a chatas or olas. Hope you enjoyed tonight's share. See you in the next one.